Hi, I'm Jamila, owner of A Special Place Wigs. And if you've been following our videos, you know that we have been doing a countdown of the top 10 most frequently asked questions that we get here at A Special Place. These are regarding wigs, hair pieces, hair loss, and the services that we provide here. Now today's question, we're counting down and we're to the third most common question that we hear, which is, will my health insurance cover the cost of a wig? Now this is actually a very complicated question because health insurance is a very complicated subject, and we could honestly do probably a whole day seminar on insurance. But let's just touch on the highlights regarding health insurance and wig coverage. Now something that complicates this is that there's a lot of false information right now on the web. I did some research and looked at a lot of different sites that sell wigs online, and most of them have a page regarding health insurance. And there was a lot of information on there that's incorrect. Now, how do I know this? I've been in the insurance billing industry for over 20 years now. I've worked for doctors' offices, I've run my own business, I've worked in the post-mastectomy industry, and for the last 16 years I've worked with wigs, and specifically focusing on wigs and getting them covered by health insurance. So I know what's covered and what's not from my years of working with it. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things you may have read and what is actually the case. So first of all, you will read some things that will say that most health insurance covers wigs, or the insurance companies have to cover wigs. And unfortunately, that is just not true. Insurance coverage for wigs is determined by the individual policy. And as we know, insurance companies don't tend to like to pay for things, so there's not a lot of insurance companies that are offering wig coverage at the moment. Now some people might say, well, I thought it was mandated by law that if I'm a cancer patient, insurance has to cover wigs. But again, unfortunately, that's not the case. Federal law mandates that insurance cover breast prosthetics and bras or reconstructive surgery for women that have had breast cancer. But unfortunately, there is no federal law that mandates wig coverage for cancer patients. So then it comes down to the individual state level. And at this point in time, there are only 5 states that mandate wig coverage, and North Carolina is not one of them. I had a list at one point. I know Rhode Island and Connecticut and Oklahoma, and I want to say New Mexico, and I don't remember Massachusetts, I think is the 5th one. So if you live in a state where the state has mandated insurance, then that's going to apply to private insurance companies. That's not going to apply to Medicare or Medicaid because they're technically not private health insurance companies. But some insurance companies do cover wigs. Some, if it's in a state where it's mandated, or a lot of times an employer-based program, the employer may have added that as a benefit. So the big question is, how will I know if my policy will cover a wig? Well, what you'll need to do is look at the terms of your policy, or you can call and ask to speak to a representative. But when you call, you want to ask the right questions. Another myth I see a lot online is that you must refer to it as a cranial prosthesis in order to get insurance coverage. This is not true. Insurance companies do not cover things based on the terminology that we use. Everything in insurance uses a code. In the case of physical items, durable medical equipment, they use what are called HCPCS codes. And the code for a wig is A9282. Now, about 12 or 13 years ago, there was a code, began with the letter S, I think it was S0895, that said cranial prosthesis, so that was the code you would use to ask about a wig. That code was actually deleted by the American Medical Association over 10 years ago, so that is an obsolete code. So calling and using the word cranial prosthesis or using that S code, you're not going to get coverage for that. Now if you call, you don't necessarily need to worry about the word wig or cranial prosthesis. None of that has to do with whether it's covered. You want to ask about a specific code, which is A9282. So if you're looking in your benefit package, the places you want to look is look under durable medical equipment and look under prosthetics and see if it lists wigs or A9282 as a code that is covered. You will also, if you don't find anything listed there that says it is covered, you're going to want to look over into the exclusions part of your benefit page and see if wigs are listed as an exclusion. And of course, if they're listed as an exclusion, that means it's not going to be covered. If you can't find anything in your policy that talks about a wig either covered or not covered, then really what you're just going to have to do is we'll have to submit a claim to your insurance company to find out if they will reimburse the wig. The other thing when you're looking at wig coverage is it's very important to know whether you're required to go in-network or whether you have out-of-network benefits. And even if you have out-of-network benefits, realize that they might be subject to a higher deductible. So you're going to want to get all that information before you purchase a wig so that you know what your budget is going to be for purchasing a wig. But you might ask the question, what if I don't? What if I find out it's excluded or I have this high deductible that I haven't met? Well, when you come in, you can talk to one of our professionals who will help you determine if you have wig coverage and how to get the most of your benefit. And if you don't, they'll help you work with your budget to find something that's in a price range that you can afford. We understand that wigs can be an investment. It can be an expensive investment. But just like we go to the hair salon and get our hair done on a regular basis, and we pay for a cut and a color and a style, usually you'll find that if you can break your payment of your wig up and you can save up over a period of time, wigs actually are less expensive than going to the salon on a regular basis. And we'll be happy to find something that works within your beauty budget, within your price range. If you have any other questions about your insurance and getting coverage for wigs, please don't hesitate to call us or visit our website at www.aspecialplacewigs.com. Thank you and have a great day.